Most people know it by now. 4 different officers were involved in the arrest of George Floyd. Now, that ended that entire arrest scenario when Derek Chauvin killed him. Now, Floyd's memorial will be held in Minneapolis Thursday, and there's news, that Joe Biden plans to attend a funeral for him in Houston next week. As for the death itself, the government autopsy ruled Floyd's death a homicide, listing additional factors besides asphyxiation. That, however, was the cause found by an independent exam obtained by the Floyd family. So take this together tonight amidst these protests, and you have the finding of a killing, you have the situation on video, and you have these other 3 officers. Do they bear any legal responsibility, such as conspiring in the killing or in the use of excessive force? Well, tonight we have a hint of new information on that front. And as we always do here, I want to be very clear with you about the sourcing, what we know and don't know. The hint of information comes from the Floyd family lawyer. They are obviously participants in all of this, but the lawyer is announcing that authorities are telling the family, the officers, those other 3 officers, quote, will be charged.
We heard that they expect to charge those officers, and now with the autopsy, the independent autopsy from the family that pays particular attention to the 2 knees and back, compressing his lungs, which is equally important as the neck compression, cutting off the flow of air. He was dying for breath. We understand they will be charged. That is what the family is hearing from the authorities.
We are joined now by the Reverend Al Sharpton, host of Politics Nation, president of the National Action Network. We should note, as with many of these cases, the Rev has become involved. He has been asked and will deliver the eulogy on Thursday. And Rev, you've worked on many of these cases that begin, among other things, with the question of what authorities are involved. Are they independent or are they in cahoots with the officers? Are they state independent, as we've seen with the Attorney General getting more involved in Minnesota, or federal, as you in your advocacy have often called for federal intervention to get a layer of independence? With that context, your reaction to what Mr. Crump said?
I've been talking with Mr. Crump throughout and several times every day as we plan the memorial. And we have been told, and the family has been told, that these 3 officers will be charged. This was the thing that the family had called for in the beginning. We've supported that. And clearly, when the independent autopsy came out, it clearly says that the cause of death was this pressure that Attorney Crump just said in the video you played, and that caused the death. So you cannot separate the officers who were also leaning in and was cooperating with not stopping the initial arresting officer from his knee on the throat and neck of Floyd, that you can't just pierce it out. They all were involved in what is a criminal act, and they all ought to be prosecuted. And I think that from our trips to Minneapolis and around different parts of the country where we have chapters of National Action Network, that's what people are saying. We want to see them all held accountable. And we want some long-term change. And that is, I think, what people are out for. The protests, the ones that are there for that by the tens of thousands, that's what they want. We've heard before. We had a tape with Eric Garner and nothing happened. We've seen them promise and do nothing. Now it's time for this to stop, and we just get the proper equal protection under the law.
Which authorities are stating that charges are coming?
Well, I can't divulge what the attorneys don't want. I can say that they have been told, and the family has been told, that there will be charges coming with the officers. Where and when, I'm not at liberty to divulge. The lawyers will have to do that.
Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.